He said aliens came and gave him one date, 2054. What you're about to hear defies everything you thought you knew about alien contact. In 1994, deep in the forests of northeastern China, a simple logger named Meng Xiaogua experienced something so terrifying, so inexplicable, that it would change his life forever and become one of the most documented abduction cases in Asian history. But here's what they don't want you to know. This wasn't just another UFO sighting. This was a calculated genetic experiment that left physical evidence on his body and a hybrid pregnancy that shocked investigators. June 1994, Red Flag Logging Camp, Wuchang, Heilongjiang Province. Meng Xiaogua was doing what he did every day, working the dense forests of Mount Phoenix. Nothing unusual, just another day, until he saw something gleaming on the mountainside, something metallic that shouldn't be there. He thought it was a downed helicopter. He was wrong. When he got closer with his coworker, what they found wasn't mechanical at all. It was breathing, it was alive, and it was watching them. The object appeared to be covered in some kind of organic material, pulsating with an otherworldly energy. Meng approached, curious, unaware he was about to become part of something much bigger than himself. That's when it happened. Without warning, a blast of energy hit him square in the forehead, throwing him back several meters. His coworker ran. Meng lost consciousness. When he woke up, everything had changed. But this was just the beginning of his nightmare. Over the next few weeks, Meng began experiencing bizarre symptoms, violent headaches, strange marks appearing on his body. And then the visits started. Late at night, when he was alone in bed, they would come. Not in spacecraft this time. They walked through the walls. Three beings, humanoid but distinctly alien, with elongated features and eyes that seemed to pierce straight into his soul. They had an agenda, and Meng was their subject. Here's where this case gets absolutely insane. During one of these nocturnal visits, Meng claims he was subjected to a sexual encounter with a female alien being. This wasn't some dream or hallucination. There were witnesses to his bizarre behavior during these episodes. His wife watched in horror as her husband seemed to interact with invisible entities, speaking in languages she didn't understand, his body moving in ways that suggested physical contact with something she couldn't see. Multiple family members documented these incidents. This wasn't happening in secret. The entities communicated with him telepathically, and what they told him is absolutely chilling. They claimed to be conducting a breeding program, creating human-alien hybrids that would walk among us. They showed him visions of their world, a place vastly different from Earth, and they told him something that still sends shivers down the spines of researchers. In 60 years, their hybrid offspring would return to reveal themselves to humanity. That means 2054. Mark your calendars. But wait, there's physical evidence that makes this case impossible to dismiss. After these encounters, Meng's body bore strange scars and marks that appeared overnight. A triangular pattern on his thigh, unusual indentations on his legs. These weren't self-inflicted. Medical examinations couldn't explain them. And here's the kicker, years later, in 2003, Meng claimed the alien beings contacted him again and told him that the hybrid child they had created with his genetic material was now alive on their planet, a girl who carried his DNA. Chinese UFO researchers descended on this case like nothing before. Professor Wang Jinghua from the Wuchang Forestry Public Security Bureau personally investigated and found Meng to be credible. He passed multiple polygraph tests. His story never changed despite intensive questioning over months and years. This wasn't someone seeking attention. Meng was reluctant to share his experience initially, fearing ridicule. But the evidence kept mounting. The initial encounter on Mount Phoenix left electromagnetic anomalies in the area that persisted for weeks. Other loggers reported seeing strange lights in the sky around the same time. Equipment malfunctions, unusual animal behavior. The forest itself seemed different after that day. Local authorities couldn't explain it. Scientific teams brought in specialized equipment to measure radiation levels and magnetic field distortions. The readings were off the charts in specific locations that corresponded exactly with where Meng said he encountered the craft. During hypnotic regression sessions conducted by Chinese researchers, Meng revealed details about the interior of what he called a spacecraft. He described being taken aboard during one of the nighttime encounters, floating through the walls of his home and into a vessel hovering silently above the logging camp. Inside, he saw what appeared to be a massive breeding facility, with chambers containing what looked like human-alien hybrid fetuses in various stages of development. The aliens showed him this deliberately, as if they wanted him to understand the scope of their program. They told him he wasn't the first and wouldn't be the last. There were others, hundreds of others across China alone, all part of this genetic experiment spanning decades. The aliens, according to Meng, come from a planet in a solar system we haven't even discovered yet, thousands of light years away. Their species was dying, their ability to reproduce naturally failing. Earth humans, with our diverse genetics and robust reproductive systems, were the solution they had been searching for across the cosmos. The female entity that Meng encountered wasn't just any alien. She appeared to hold a significant role in their hierarchy, something like a scientist or geneticist. She examined him with instruments that seemed to materialize from thin air, scanning his body with beams of light that penetrated his skin. She extracted genetic material through methods that left him feeling violated and confused. But what disturbed him most was her complete lack of emotion. To her, this was a procedure, nothing more. He was a specimen, a data point in their grand experiment. Now here's something that will blow your mind. Meng wasn't the only person in that region experiencing contact. After his story went public, dozens of others came forward with similar accounts. Pattern emerged. The aliens were targeting rural populations, people who lived away from major cities, individuals whose disappearances or strange behavior would be easier to dismiss. The logging camps and remote villages of northeastern China became hotspots for UFO activity throughout the mid-1990s. Chinese military officials took this seriously enough to launch classified investigations. Documents that have since leaked suggest they tracked over 40 UFO incidents in Heilongjiang province between 1994 and 1998. Many involved direct contact with entities matching Meng's descriptions. The government publicly denied any unusual activity while privately deploying specialized units to monitor the region. Why the cover-up? What did they find that they don't want us to know? Let's talk about the scars again, because this is crucial physical evidence. Medical professionals who examined Meng found that the marks on his body weren't consistent with any known earthly instrument or natural phenomenon. The tissue showed signs of exposure to intense focused energy, but the precision of the marks suggested advanced technology, not random injury. Dermatologists were baffled. Forensic experts had no explanations. These weren't burns, cuts, or bruises in any conventional sense. The cellular structure had been altered at a molecular level. During interviews, Meng described the aliens' appearance in detail that remained consistent across hundreds of tellings. They stood approximately 6 feet tall, with slender builds and disproportionately long arms. Their skin had a grayish-white hue, smooth and almost translucent in certain lighting. The most striking feature was their eyes, large and dark, wraparound, giving them nearly 180-degree vision. They had small mouths that barely moved when they communicated, because they didn't speak verbally. Everything was telepathic, thoughts transmitted directly into his mind in his native Chinese. He also described their hands, which had 6 fingers each, longer and more dexterous than human hands. When they touched him, he said it felt like cold electricity, a tingling sensation that spread from the point of contact throughout his entire body. One touch could immobilize him completely, leaving him conscious but unable to move or speak. They had complete control over his physical body, manipulating it like a puppet while his mind remained awake and aware, trapped inside, forced to experience everything they did to him. The breeding program the aliens described to Meng wasn't random. They had been studying humanity for thousands of years. They claimed, watching our evolution, waiting for the right moment to intervene. According to what they showed him through telepathic visions, they had made contact with ancient civilizations, leaving behind genetic markers in select human populations. The hybrid program was the next phase, creating beings that could survive in both worlds, Earth and their home planet, serving as bridges between our species. They showed him images of these hybrids, children who looked almost human but with subtle differences. Larger eyes, enhanced cognitive abilities, telepathic potential. These children, he was told, were being raised in facilities both on their planet and in hidden bases here on Earth. Some were being integrated into human society, planted in families who had no idea their adopted children carried alien DNA. Sleeper agents, essentially waiting for activation when the time came for full disclosure. Meng asked them why they chose him specifically. Their answer was chilling in its simplicity. His genetic profile was compatible. They had screened millions of humans, they told him, looking for specific markers that made successful hybridization possible. Most humans weren't suitable. Their DNA couldn't successfully merge with alien genetics. But Meng had something they needed, a particular sequence that appeared in less than 1% of Earth's population. He was valuable to them precisely because he was rare. The encounter on Mount Phoenix wasn't his first contact with them, though it was the first he consciously remembered. Through regression hypnosis, researchers uncovered suppressed memories from his childhood. At age 7, he had been taken aboard a craft near his village. They had marked him then, tagging him for future collection. The blast he received in 1994 wasn't an attack. It was reactivation of dormant programming they had installed decades earlier, waking him up, preparing him for what was to come. Other abductees from the region reported similar patterns. Childhood contacts followed by dormant periods, then reactivation in adulthood. The aliens were playing a long game, tracking individuals across decades, monitoring their health, their genetics, their family lines. This wasn't opportunistic abduction. This was systematic genetic harvesting on a scale that suggests they've been doing this for generations, possibly centuries. How many people walking around right now carry these hidden memories, these suppressed experiences? In 2003, 9 years after the initial encounter, Meng reported another contact event. This time, they showed him his hybrid daughter. She appeared to be around 8 years old, with features that blended human and alien characteristics. She had his eyes, his facial structure, but her proportions were slightly off, her movements too fluid, too graceful. They let him see her for only a moment before the vision faded. It was a message. The program was succeeding. His genetic contribution had produced viable offspring. Chinese ufologists have documented this case extensively, with over 1,000 pages of interview transcripts, medical reports, and witness testimonies. The China UFO Research Association considers it one of the most credible abduction cases in their files. What makes it so compelling is the wealth of corroborating evidence. The electromagnetic anomalies, the physical marks, the multiple witnesses to Meng's strange behavior during contact episodes, the consistency of his account over decades. This isn't some wild story that falls apart under scrutiny. It holds up. But here's what really makes this case terrifying. The aliens told Meng their hybrid children would begin revealing themselves in 2054. That's less than 30 years away. Think about that. Right now, there could be thousands of these hybrids already living among us, growing up, attending our schools, working our jobs, having children of their own. They look human enough to pass. They think like humans because they were raised here, but they carry alien DNA, alien abilities, and alien loyalty. When the time comes, whose side will they choose? The implications are staggering. If what Meng experienced is real, and the evidence strongly suggests it is, then we're living in the middle of the largest covert operation in human history. An alien species has been conducting a multi-generational genetic program right under our noses, creating a hybrid population that will serve as intermediaries when they decide to make their presence known. We're not talking about invasion. We're talking about infiltration, integration, preparation for something much bigger. And it's not just China. Similar reports have emerged from every continent, every culture, every demographic. The patterns match. The descriptions align. Whether it's Whitley Strieber in America, Antonio Villas-Boas in Brazil, or Meng Xiaogua in China, the core elements remain. Consistent: abduction, examination, genetic manipulation, breeding programs. This is a coordinated global operation, and we're only now beginning to piece together the full scope. Meng Xiaogua's life was forever altered by what happened to him in those Chinese forests. He lost his job at the logging camp because his behavior became too erratic. His marriage suffered under the strain of the unexplainable. He became an outcast in his community, branded as crazy by those who refused to believe. But he never recanted. He never sought profit from his story. He simply insisted on telling the truth about what happened to him. Consequences be damned. That kind of consistency, that kind of conviction, it means something. Today, Meng is in his 50s, still living in northeastern China, still haunted by memories of those encounters. He reports occasional telepathic communications from the entities, brief flashes of images or thoughts that intrude into his mind without warning. They're still monitoring him, he says, still checking in on their experiment. And he's not alone. Support groups for Chinese abductees have formed, people sharing similar experiences, comparing notes, trying to make sense of what was done to them. The Chinese government maintains its official position. UFOs don't exist. Alien abductions are psychological phenomena. There's nothing to investigate. But leaked documents tell a different story. Special military units deployed to hotspot regions. Classified research programs studying recovered materials. Cover-ups and intimidation of witnesses. The same pattern we see in every country that experiences high UFO activity. Deny publicly, investigate privately, keep the population in the dark. So what do we do with this information? How do we process the possibility that Meng Xiaogui is telling the truth, that alien-human hybrids are already living among us, that we're being prepared for contact whether we like it or not? Maybe we start by taking these accounts seriously. Maybe we demand transparency from our governments. Maybe we accept that the universe is much stranger and more populated than we've been led to believe. Because if Meng is right, if his warnings are accurate, then 2054 is going to be the most significant year in human history. The year everything changes. The year the hybrids reveal themselves. The year we finally learn we're not alone, and we never were. The year we discover that we've been part of an alien genetic experiment for longer than any of us imagined. Are you ready for that truth? Is anyone?